Good morning, Scotland. Good morning, social media land. I hope you are well. It is Wednesday, the 21st of May, 2025. First of all, let me apologise for being dark for well over a week now. I had to concentrate on a project that, if all the pieces fall into place, will allow me to pursue independence from a whole different dynamic, as well as continuing my digital activism here with the Saorsa team. It involves a whole bunch of paperwork and interviews, producing addresses and waiting for decisions. And that's where we are right now, waiting for decisions. I can't say more than I already have, but let's just say the decisions will be made by Friday morning and we can celebrate together, or we can drown our sorrows collectively in the live on Friday night. I promise you that I will tell you the full story on Friday night's live stream. But today I want to speak a little bit about our movement. There will be times when the struggle for Scotland seems impossible. We know this already. We feel it. We see the polls tighten and the media twists every single truth when our voices are drowned in the noise of a system that was never meant to serve us. We feel it in the weariness of yet another promise broken, another generation told to wait, and the sadness of not being taken seriously. Or could it be anger? A bit of both. We feel it when we stand in the shadow of Westminster and wonder if we're shouting into the wind. But that feeling, that weight, is proof that we still believe, and belief is the first act of rebellion. Freedom is a pure idea. It needs no permission. It arises in the heart and soul before it is spoken aloud. It ignites in the quiet moments. In the pensioner who knows that their hardship is not natural. In the teacher who sees potential in a pupil wasted. In the mother who wonders why her child's future must be bargained with. And families who can barely afford to put food on the table. These feelings stir in the hearts of all Scots, both Unionist Scot and our brethren within the movement, as we are all affected equally by the camouflaged tyranny of the Union. Do Unionist Scots not face the same hardships as we do? Do they not worry about their children the same way that we do? Of course they do. The truth is, these feelings of despair and anger are the stirrings of rebellion. And where we find them in the people is where we find Scotland's very own rebellion. We see it more overtly on social media, in the words written on banners at marches and articles in the National. It is the resilience of ordinary people who refuse to be broken by an extraordinary arrogance of power that keeps the fire of the movement burning. We do not need to see tanks in the street to call it what it is. Colonial control masked as partnership. A parliament we didn't vote for with the ability to veto laws that Holyrood pass. A media that speaks with an English tongue and tells us what to believe about our own nation. A treasury that hoards what we earn and tells us what we should be grateful for when we get just that little bit back. But they still fear us. They still panic at the sight of organised hope. Why? Because power built on theft is brittle. Because the need to dominate stems not from strength, but from fear. That's why they shout louder. That's why they mock us, distort our truth and distract us from our cause. They are desperate to convince us that the fight cannot be won, that we are divided, that we are too weak, too poor and too small. But if that were true, if Scotland were truly content, they would not work so hard to silence us. Tyranny does not rest, and neither can we. So remember this. The front line is not a battlefield. It is your community. It is your vote, your voice. It is the moment you decide to speak up, to challenge, to question, to hope. It's the whisper of defiance becoming the roar. We are not waiting to be saved. We are the ones who will be saving ourselves. We are the ones that we've been waiting on. There is no hero coming. There is only us diverse, defiant and determined, a people whose right to choose their own future is not a request. It is something that when we realise our power, we shall just do it. The union is not a gift. It's not a partnership. It is a leash locked around our necks, and we will not beg for the key when we've always had the strength to break the chain ourselves. So know this. The day will come when all the small acts, the conversations, the marches, the votes and the refusals will swell like a tide that crashes through the crumbling defences of this old, exhausted union. There will be one push too many, one insult too far, and the dam will break. And when it does, the world will remember that Scotland did not ask to be free. It just remembered that it already was, and it took it back. Until that day comes, we endure, and then one day, we will win. Tomorrow, I want to talk about how a UK security czar has stated in a conference here in Scotland that our movement is influenced by outside agitators, and why he said that the SNP government exists only to destroy the British state and are a security risk. Apparently, we have moved on from being extremists to full-blown terrorists. Thank you for watching. I'll speak to you tomorrow.